What is going on, everybody? Been a diehard Pistons fan since '03 and eager to see this team getting back to playing winning basketball. In today's video, we will be doing a season preview for new Piston Malik Beasley. On this channel, we have and will continue to do season previews for all individual players on the Pistons roster. We started with the youngest, we're working our way up to the oldest, only 4 left to go. Today, we are on Malik Beasley. We'll talk briefly about his previous year, go over 3 strengths to expect from him this upcoming season, 1 weakness to expect, a swing skill, and then at the video, we will predict where he will be at in the rotation. Last year, Malik Beasley in his 27-year-old season averaged 11 points per game, 4 rebounds, an assist and a half, while shooting 44% from the floor and 41% from 3 for the Milwaukee Bucks. He started in 77 out of the 79 games he played for them, playing 30 minutes a night. Overall, Malik Beasley had a pretty big role on a good team that was riddled by injuries. So I'd say, relatively speaking, it was a pretty decent year for Malik Beasley, even though he probably did not get the payday he had hoped for this summer while signing a 1-year prove-it deal with the Pistons. The first obvious strength to talk about for Malik Beasley is going to be his three-point shooting ability. Last season, he averaged 2.8 threes made per game while shooting 41% from 3. Considering that the Pistons were dead last in three-pointers made last year, obviously a huge addition onto this roster. Malik Beasley is a proven three-point shooter in the league. Over the course of his career, he has been 39% from 3. Just a great shooting form, gets his shot off quick. He's able to come off of screens, movement shooting, you name it, he can shoot it. He's got the whole package when it comes to being a jump shooter in today's NBA. Super excited to see what his shooting can provide for this team. And when we're talking about his strengths, this one needs to be highlighted, capitalized, in bold at the top of the list, and then a big gap down to everything else that he does on the basketball floor, because as an NBA player, Malik Beasley is a shooter bar none. That's what he is. He's an elite shooter. That's Malik Beasley's game. He's a shooter. And that's why for his second strength, it actually just ties into what his first strength is, realistically. It's going to be his ability to space the floor and know his role. So Malik Beasley obviously is a respected shooter in the NBA. Teams are not going to sag off of Malik Beasley, and they're not going to crash in to help off of him leaving an open three-pointer for a career 39% three-point shooter who was 41% from 3 last year. Talking about last season for the Pistons, so many times Cade would be penetrating in the lane, working his actions, get into the lane, and then who was ever defending the wings would crash in because the people that they'd be helping off of were typically Killian or Ausar or other guys who are just negative shooters, so they know that they could crash in, help on Cade or Ivy, whoever it was, and leave guys on the wing. They won't be able to do that when it's Malik Beasley standing out there. So I think that this just changes a lot for how the team will look when he is on the floor, especially in addition to some of the other shooters that we have already talked about in season previews and still have to talk about in future season previews. So his third strength is going to be his overall athleticism. Now, Malik Beasley isn't an Ausar Thompson level athlete in the NBA where he's jumping out of the gym to a whole new level, but he does have a high motor and he does have pretty good rebounding numbers thanks to his athleticism for a shooting guard that is only 6'4", 6'5". Last year, for the Milwaukee Bucks, he averaged 4 rebounds per game, which is pretty impressive considering that he was sharing the floor mostly with Giannis and Brook Lopez. During his time with the Timberwolves, he had a season where he was at 4.5, another season where he was at 5 rebounds per game. He's definitely a very solid rebounder for a shooting guard who definitely isn't known for that. You know, when you hear Malik Beasley, you just think of shooting and his ability to get off tough shots and difficult shots. One of the kind of sleeper things about him is he does rebound the ball very well considering everything else. So one weakness to talk about is going to be his overall defense. Now, this is a tricky one, especially because last year, considering the Milwaukee Bucks roster, he was not put in a position where he was able to hide very easily on defense. You might think, oh, they have Brook Lopez, amazing rim protector. Oh, they have Giannis, an amazing roamer on defense, one of the best. the thing is, they had nobody else to guard the perimeter, so he was often taking on assignments that he probably shouldn't have on the perimeter, and he did get exposed a little bit in one-on-one settings. The plus about his weakness of defense in a one-on-one setting is the fact that he does try pretty hard. His motor and tenacity, all of that stuff does not go unnoticed by myself or fans of the teams that he previously had played for. My brother-in-law is actually a Bucks fan. He's from Wisconsin. And realistically, that was his takeaway from him defensively is like, yeah, he's not able to guard the perimeter at a super elite level, but he's not just going to fall asleep out there, and he'll give you 100% effort, which is realistically all you can ask for on that side of the ball. So Malik Beasley's swing skill is just going to be his consistency and streakiness. If you talk to people who were fans of teams that Malik Beasley had played for previously, he's known to go into a slump every now and again. That does happen to a lot of great shooters in the NBA, but I know like his time with the Lakers, his short time with the Lakers, a lot of the Lakers fans were kind of upset about his shooting. It was down at 35% for the 26 games that he played for the Lakers 2 years ago, and that's just because he was in a bit of a slump. So I think Malik Beasley on his best day will be super impactful for the Detroit Pistons this upcoming season. But if he does go on a 5-game shooting slump or something like that, I could definitely foresee some fans saying, what's he even here for? I definitely won't be in that camp. I'm able to zoom out a little bit and look at the bigger picture and things, but I'm just warning you guys right now that's probably going to happen at some point throughout the season where he does go cold for maybe a week or two. It's just the nature of the beast when you're a 7 attempt per game 3-point shooter. It just is what it is. Unless your name is what am I even saying? Steph Curry's gone on cold streaks before. So yeah, it's just the nature of the beast. So to predict where he will be at in the rotation, this is a tricky one. I've made a video on this channel before talking about my predicted starting lineup, and I haven't wavered on that. I still think Jaden Ivey's going to be the starting 2-guard for this team, but definitely expect Malik Beasley to play starter level minutes and expect him to either start some games or maybe start all of the games. If Cade or Ivey is out, I think he will be the first person to fill in that role as the number 3 guard, you know, the type of guy who if Cade or Ivey has to sit out for a game for whatever reason, injuries, Lord forbid, he will definitely be the guy shooing into that lineup. He might even start the 2 over Ivey. It's hard to say at this point in time. I don't think he will personally, but if it does happen, I won't be shocked. Nevertheless, the dude's going to average like 30 minutes per game at the least for us this upcoming season. If not 30, definitely 25. He's played no less than 25 minutes per game over the course of the last 6 years in the NBA. So yeah, coming onto a team like the Pistons, he'll definitely get that here. Let me know what you guys think about Malik Beasley. I'm super excited for him on this team. I think with the additions of Tobias Harris and Ron Holland and everybody else this summer, I think a little bit of Malik coming to this team has gone under the radar, and I definitely can't oversell it enough how impactful I think his ability to shoot the ball at an elite level will not only have on this team, but the other players around him. I'll catch up with you guys soon.